There is a grass that grows 13 feet tall, not over years, not over decades. 13 feet in a single growing season. Plant it in spring and watch it tower over your head by fall, a wall of green biomass so dense that you cannot see through it, so tall that it dwarfs everything around it. This grass makes boards stronger than wood. Not comparable to wood, stronger. The fiberboard produced from this grass exceeds the structural properties of traditional wood products. Higher density, better screw retention, superior moisture resistance, boards that outperform oak and pine and maple. This grass regrows after you cut it. Harvest the entire crop. Cut it to the ground, walk away. Next spring it returns. It returns from the same roots you planted years ago. It returns without replanting. It returns without reseeding. It returns automatically, year after year, for 20 to 30 years. This grass produces 25 tons per acre every single year. A pine forest produces perhaps 2 tons per acre per year, averaged over its 25-year growth cycle. This grass produces more than 10 times that amount. The same acre that would grow one tree's worth of wood grows enough grass to replace an entire lumber shipment. This grass exists right now. It is not experimental. It is not theoretical. It is not waiting for development. Farmers are growing it. Factories are processing it. Products are being made. The supply chain exists, and you cannot buy it. Walk into any home improvement store, look for grass-based fiberboard, look for elephant grass panels, look for miscanthus building materials. You will find nothing. The shelves are filled with wood products, while the superior alternative remains invisible. The lumber industry made sure of that. The global lumber market generates over $600 billion per year. That revenue depends on trees remaining the only source of building materials. It depends on 25-year growth cycles that create scarcity. It depends on forests being cut faster than they regrow. A grass that produces 10 times more material per acre threatens this business model. A grass that regrows automatically threatens the seed and sapling industry. A grass that anyone can grow threatens the land ownership that timber companies depend upon. The grass that could revolutionize construction has been kept from you deliberately. Today, we are opening the file on the grass that grows 13 feet tall, the plant that makes boards stronger than wood, the crop that produces 25 tons per acre and regrows forever, and the industry that has made sure you never see it on store shelves. If this matters to you, subscribe and hit the bell. The file is open. The grass is called miscanthus, Miscanthus giganteus, commonly known as elephant grass or silvergrass, a perennial grass native to East Asia that has been cultivated for centuries, a plant so productive that it seems to violate the rules of biology. The grass grows from rhizomes, underground stems that spread horizontally through the soil. Each rhizome produces multiple shoots. Each shoot grows into a cane that reaches 10 to 14 feet tall. The canes are thick and woody, more like bamboo than lawn grass. The growth rate during peak season exceeds 2 inches per day. You can almost watch it grow. The biomass accumulates so rapidly that researchers initially doubted the measurements. The productivity seemed impossible until repeated studies confirmed it. The plant requires no replanting for 20 to 30 years. The rhizome network expands and strengthens over time. Early yields are modest as the plant establishes. By year 3, full productivity begins. The investment in planting pays dividends for decades. The grass requires almost no inputs once established. No annual seeding, no significant fertilization, no pesticides, no herbicides after the first 2 years when the canopy closes and shades out competitors. The plant essentially grows itself. The water requirements are minimal. The deep rhizome network accesses moisture that shallow-rooted crops cannot reach. Drought that devastates corn and wheat barely affects established miscanthus. The plant evolved in challenging conditions and thrives with neglect. The harvest happens once per year in late winter or early spring. The grass dies back after frost, drying in the field naturally. The moisture content drops to 15 to 20% without artificial drying. The standing crop waits patiently for harvest. Standard agricultural equipment handles the harvest. Forage harvesters or mowers cut the canes. Balers compress the material for transport. The same machines that harvest hay harvest miscanthus. No specialized equipment is required. The processing transforms grass into building materials. The harvested canes are chipped or shredded into small particles. The particles are dried to precise moisture content. Adhesives are added, typically the same adhesives used in conventional wood products. The mixture is pressed under heat and pressure into boards. The resulting material is called miscanthus fiberboard or grass-based particle board. The properties exceed conventional wood products in multiple dimensions. The density is higher than standard MDF. Higher density means greater strength and better fastener retention. Screws grip more tightly. Joints hold more securely. The assembled products last longer. The moisture resistance is superior. The natural silica content in grass creates a less absorptive material. Water that would swell and weaken wood particle board affects grass board less. Bathrooms and kitchens are better served by grass-based materials. The surface hardness exceeds wood-based products. The material resists dents and scratches better. Furniture and flooring made from grass board maintains appearance longer. The durability translates to longer product life. The formaldehyde emissions can be lower. The grass fibers bond effectively with newer, low-emission adhesives. The health concerns that surround conventional particle board are reduced. Indoor air quality improves when grass board replaces wood board. The environmental comparison devastates the lumber industry. Growing miscanthus sequesters carbon in the soil. The rhizome network deposits carbon underground, where it remains even after harvest. Each year of growth adds to the soil carbon bank. The net climate impact is negative. Growing miscanthus removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Growing trees for lumber releases carbon when the trees are harvested. The roots die. The soil carbon escapes. The lumber itself releases carbon when it eventually decomposes or burns. The cycle returns carbon to the atmosphere. The land efficiency multiplier compounds these benefits. If grass produces 10 times more material per acre, then meeting the same demand requires 1/10 the land. The other 9/10 can remain as forest, sequestering carbon indefinitely. The biodiversity impact favors grass over industrial timber. Miscanthus fields provide habitat for birds and insects. The dense growth offers shelter. The lack of pesticides allows ecosystems to function. Clear-cut timber operations leave biological deserts. The water impact favors grass dramatically. Tree plantations often drain water tables and dry up streams. Miscanthus uses water efficiently and does not deplete aquifers. The hydrological impact is minimal. The soil impact favors grass over trees. Miscanthus improves soil structure over time. The rhizomes add organic matter. The lack of tillage allows soil biology to develop. Timber harvest compacts soil and disrupts ecosystems. By every environmental measure, grass-based building materials are superior to wood-based building materials. The science is clear. The comparisons are documented. The conclusion is unavoidable. The history of miscanthus reveals why it remains obscure. The plant has been cultivated in Japan for centuries. Traditional uses included thatching roofs and weaving mats. The Japanese understood that this grass was useful, though they lacked modern processing technology. European researchers began studying miscanthus in the 1980s. The energy crisis of the 1970s had sparked interest in biomass fuels. Scientists searched for the most productive biomass crops. Miscanthus emerged as a leading candidate. The early research focused on burning miscanthus for energy. Power plants could burn grass instead of coal. Heating systems could burn grass pellets. The energy applications were straightforward. The building material applications developed later. Researchers realized that the same fibers that burned well could also be processed into boards. The transition from fuel to materials opened new possibilities. European companies began developing miscanthus products in the 2000s. Factories were built, supply chains were established, products reached markets in limited quantities. The industry began to form. The American market remained closed. The lumber industry in America is older and more powerful than in Europe. The timber companies own vast tracts of land. They control the supply of building materials. They have political influence that European timber companies lack. The American approach to biomass focused on corn ethanol. The corn lobby pushed for fuel mandates that benefited corn farmers. The subsidies flowed to corn. Miscanthus received nothing despite being more efficient. The building codes in America specify wood products. The standards were written when wood was the only option. They have not been updated to accommodate grass-based alternatives. The regulatory framework excludes new materials. The distribution networks are controlled by lumber interests. The home improvement stores stock what the lumber industry supplies. The contractors order what the distributors carry. The system perpetuates itself without allowing alternatives. The suppression is economic rather than technical. The grass works, the products perform. The barriers are market control and regulatory capture, not material science. The European experience demonstrates what is possible. Companies in the UK, Germany, and the Netherlands are producing miscanthus building materials. The factories process thousands of tons of grass annually. The products reach consumers who can choose alternatives. The UK company Miscanthus Industries produces fiberboard for construction and furniture applications. Their products compete directly with conventional particle board. Customer response has been positive. German researchers at the Leibniz Institute have documented miscanthus board properties extensively. Their published papers confirm superior performance in multiple categories. The science supports commercial application. Dutch entrepreneurs have developed miscanthus insulation products. The processed grass fibers provide thermal insulation comparable to conventional materials. The products are marketed as sustainable alternatives. The European success proves that the concept works at commercial scale. The question is not whether grass can replace wood. The question is why America has not followed Europe's lead. The answer is industry power. The American lumber industry has resources that European competitors lack. The vast forests of the Pacific Northwest and Southeast represent billions of dollars in standing timber. The companies that own these forests will not surrender their value without a fight. Lobbying expenditures from timber interests exceed those of any potential miscanthus industry. The political influence is asymmetric. The existing industry has captured the regulatory process. The challenger cannot compete politically. The building codes that specify wood products were written with timber industry input. The industry associations that advise code officials represent wood interests. The system perpetuates requirements that favor incumbents. The green building certification systems have been influenced similarly. LEED and other standards give credit for certified wood, but not for grass-based alternatives. The environmental movement has been captured by sophisticated industry positioning. The marketing advantages compound the political advantages. The timber industry spends millions on advertising that positions wood as natural, sustainable, and traditional. Grass does not have a marketing budget to counter these messages. The narrative of wood as the environmental building material is industry creation. The reality is that grass produces more material with less environmental impact, but reality struggles against funded marketing. The economics strongly favor miscanthus. Establishment costs for miscanthus are comparable to other perennial crops. Rhizomes must be purchased and planted. The first 2 years require weed control. The investment recovers by year 4 or 5. Ongoing production costs are minimal. No annual planting, no significant inputs. The harvest cost is the primary expense. Farmers report production costs of $40 to $60 per ton. The yield of 20 to 25 tons per acre generates gross revenue potential of $2,500 to $2,500 per acre at current prices. This compares favorably to corn or soybeans on similar land. The economic case for farmers is solid. The processing economics are competitive with wood particle board. The raw material cost is lower than wood chips. The processing is similar. The capital requirements are comparable. The business case for manufacturers is sound. The missing element is demand. Without retail distribution, demand cannot develop. Without demand, manufacturers hesitate to invest. Without manufacturers, there's nothing to distribute. The chicken and egg problem persists because no one breaks the cycle. The farmers who could grow miscanthus wait for buyers. Millions of acres could be planted to miscanthus. The marginal farmland that struggles to produce profitable corn would produce profitable grass. The economic opportunity exists, but remains unrealized. Pioneer farmers who planted miscanthus in the 2010s found limited markets. Some sold to power plants for burning. Some sold to experimental processors. Most found that the promised demand had not materialized. The cautionary tales circulate in farming communities. The crop that was supposed to be profitable turned out to have no buyers. The early adopters became warnings rather than models. This market failure is not natural. It is manufactured. The demand suppression by incumbents prevents the market from developing. The farmers respond rationally to artificial conditions. A coordinated effort to develop miscanthus would succeed. If retailers stocked grass board, consumers would buy it. If consumers bought it, manufacturers would produce it. If manufacturers produced it, farmers would grow the grass. The coordination failure benefits the lumber industry. As long as no one acts first, nothing changes. The incumbents retain their market. The superior product remains unavailable. The homeowner can access miscanthus with difficulty. European suppliers ship to America. The shipping costs are significant. The logistics are complex. But determined buyers can obtain grass-based materials. Online specialty retailers carry some miscanthus products. The selection is limited. The prices include premiums for small-scale handling. The experience is not comparable to buying wood products locally. Growing miscanthus for personal use is straightforward. Rhizomes are available from agricultural suppliers. A small plot can produce material for home projects. The scale is too small for board production, but sufficient for mulch, animal bedding, or garden structures. The demonstration value of home growing should not be dismissed. Neighbors who see 13-foot grass become curious. The conversation starts. The awareness spreads. The market develops one household at a time. The future may be closer than it appears. Climate pressure is forcing reconsideration of material choices. Carbon accounting is becoming standard in construction. The superior carbon profile of miscanthus is attracting attention. Venture capital has begun funding grass-based material companies. The investment community sees the opportunity, even if retailers do not. New processing facilities are being planned. The building code reform movement is gaining momentum. The prescriptive codes that specify wood are being replaced by performance codes that allow any material meeting standards. Grassboard can meet performance standards. Consumer awareness is growing through social media. The information that was once suppressed now spreads freely. The videos showing 13-foot grass accumulate millions of views. The curiosity is building. The lumber industry's control is weakening. The same forces that disrupted other industries are coming for wood. The only question is timing. You now know what the lumber industry does not want you to know. You know that miscanthus grows 13 feet tall in a single season. You know that it produces 25 tons per acre compared to 2 tons for trees. You know that it regrows automatically for 20 to 30 years. You know that boards made from this grass are stronger than wood boards. You know that the environmental profile is dramatically better. You know that the economics favor the challenger. You know that the lumber industry has kept this grass from American stores. You know that European companies are producing what American companies refuse to make. You know that the barrier is market power, not material science. You know that 13-foot grass is growing right now in fields across America. You know that most of it is burned for energy because building material markets are blocked. You know that the superior product is being wasted because inferior products are protected. The grass that could replace wood is waiting. It is waiting for retailers to stock it. It is waiting for codes to allow it. It is waiting for consumers to demand it. It is waiting for the industry stranglehold to break. Every year, another 25 tons per acre grows and dies and regrows. Every year, another harvest is burned or composted or wasted. Every year, trees are cut that did not need to fall. The grass grows 13 feet tall. The boards are stronger than wood. The market is closed for now. If this video helped you, subscribe and hit the bell. Every share grows what they wanted to keep small. The next video opens soon.